Hello everyone, and welcome to Counselor Feature Friday. I'm your host, Brian Urban. In these features, we hope to give you some simple tips, tidbits, and tricks to make your days easier and your patients happier. Now, if you follow this series, you'll know that I say that every time. This one is an extra special Feature Friday. Why? Because we're going to show you something that's not yet available, but will be available on Monday. And I think this is going to have an immediate and profound effect on your practice. This is on the topic of processing EOBs, processing payments from insurance companies. It is a pain. I don't care what system you use, what process you have, it always resolves in being a lot of clicks, a lot of effort, and a lot of opportunity for errors. And this has bugged us, like it has you, for a long time. And we believe we found a way to make the whole process much easier, much quicker, and reduce that error. So let me show you what will be available in Counselor automatically in your account starting Monday. All right, so let's take an example where I have an EOB in my hand, and let's say I have two patients on that EOB, and I want to go through and I want to just get the information entered. I want to update the invoices. I want to do it in one streamlined process. Not only in addition to the EOB, I also have a check in my hand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and this new button will appear for you that will say Add Payment. All right, so I'm not going into any invoice. I'm just going to go ahead and add the payment. All right, so this starts off a very similar process to what it'd be if you're adding a payment to a specific invoice. So we're going to say, yep, this is payer types insurance. Here's the payer. Of course, it'll show us any payers that are associated with this patient's profile. I'm going to say the payment method is check. Let's go ahead and enter that info, right? Your QuickBooks status, that will be consistent with your normal rules, right? If this automatically sets to ready, it will do that for you. If you don't, it will stay at not ready, okay? You also have the opportunity to decide whether or not you wish to add adjustments to this invoice, right? Or to any invoice, I should say. If you don't want to do it, of course, you can opt out. Typically, when you're talking about processing EOB, you'd want to add adjustments. So we're going to go ahead and leave that checked. Then we'll click Next. Now, I can see all of the patient's invoices, and I can see what the insurance due is on each. So we're going to say in this case that for these two visits, we actually have this on one EOB, right? Or give it just a slightly different scenario. If the patient owed us money, let's kind of forget the insurance world for a moment here, and owed us $20 on one invoice and $30 on another, I could record that payment against those two invoices through this one process. Okay, but let's get back to the kind of insurance world here. Let's say I want to go ahead and process these simultaneously. All right, so for this one, there's $110 insurance due. For this one, there's $112.48. So we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to take a payment here of $100. Okay, or let's just do 95 here. Okay, and for this, we're going to take a payment of $100. Let's just do 90. There we go. Let's go ahead and save those payments. Okay. So now I've applied two payments, one for each invoice. That's already happened, right? If I was to jump out of this process and look at those invoices, I would see those payments have been applied. Now I want to add my adjustments. So we're going to say this is insurance write-off. Okay, of course we could change the date if we wanted to, but let's keep that consistent. And then what it's going to do is give us options here. We can deduct the adjustment amount against the insurance responsibility. This feature is currently available in Counselor, but here's a brand new one. Any remaining balance, you have the option to transfer automatically to patient responsibility. As it stands, you currently have to go in and adjust the amount to determine what's due from the patient at this point. This will do it for you. All right, so let's go to the next step. All right, here are all the line items on those two invoices. Great. So I'm going to say that we're going to put in the $70 of that 95 went against the audio here, and here's another 25, okay? And I apologize, let me rephrase that. I want to put the adjustment in. The adjustment will be $10 and $5, right? So the payment was 70 and 25, so the adjustment will be 10 and 5. And then for these, we're going to put an adjustment of 1180, and I'm just so excited, I'm mixing up my words here. We're going to do 1080 for the adjustment here. So once again, we're adding adjustments across 4 line items across 2 different invoices, all on the same screen. So now I'm going to save the adjustments. All of those adjustments just hit those patients' invoices. Right? So if I was to duck out of this process now, I could go back into Terry's profile and see that those 2 invoices were updated with all the adjustments and the payments. Okay, but we're not done. We still have an EOB with a second patient on it. So let's just go streamline right into that next step. All right, let's look up our next patient. There he is. And let's do this again. All right, now this time it's remembered that information. It's remembered the insurance company, right? Because this came from the same EOB. So it's going to be the same insurance payer. It's going to be the same check, right? You could change this, of course, if you needed to. But by and large, you're going to review this and go, yep, makes sense. Let's move on. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the invoices again, right? So we could go ahead and process the payment off of these, right? So very simply, let's just do the same thing. Let's say we're getting a $90 payment, and we're going to do it on both of these, right? Or it could just, of course, be one. It doesn't have to be multiple invoices, but let's go ahead and save those payments. Now, once again, let's add in the adjustments, okay? And we'll do the same thing here. We're going to say the adjustment is $11.80 and $10.68, and then we'll do the same thing here. Whoops, daisy. There we go. And let's just save my horrible typing and just cut and paste because it's the same thing. All right, and now I'll save the adjustments. That's it. I have now updated 4 invoices across 2 patients, a total of 8 adjustments and 2 payments, right? Now, if we look at Terry's profile, the patient we started with, we can look in here and see all the invoice and the insurance amount is due. If I duck into the invoice, I can see very specifically that we have the adjustments in place. Look at that. Right there automatically. You didn't have to click into each one and add the adjustment. Let's go ahead and look for the payment. There it is. There's the payment. So grand scheme here, our goal is that you can take, the information you're provided by the payer and just go boom, 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 right through different patients, through invoices, payments, adjustments, and get that knocked out. Cutting the number of clicks down to a tiny fraction of what they typically are, and maintaining that high level quality where you're seeing everything in one place, right? You're not having to remember what you just did or make sure you didn't miss something. You're seeing it all at once. So that's why we're so excited. That's why I wanted to make this a Feature Friday, showing what's coming up on Monday. Obviously, if you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be very excited to talk this through with you. Hopefully it's nice and obvious. As I mentioned, there's nothing for you to do to upgrade this process. You're simply just click on the Invoices tab, and you're going to see the Add Payment feature available to you starting Monday morning. So like I said, we're very excited to have this available for you. Please let us know if you can assist in any way. Give us a call, live chat us, email, and as always, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.